COVID Moments by Liesl Kippen. The day has finally dawned when my students I will see. I think of the last day of term when they were not filled with glee. No one could quite comprehend then what the future would pan out to be, and everywhere we turned looked bleak with uncertainty. Televisions, radios, networks, and international media too all spoke of gloom and doom and the chaos that would ensue. Questions were thrown everywhere, and no answers could be found, for no one at the time had a clue of what was going on around. Knowledge then was limited, and stories fled quite fast. Some of us were doubtful of how long this uncertainty would last. Each had their own version of how matters would unfold. Some versions were quite interesting, while others daunting, yet bold. Kiddywinks finished school on the last day, while others some days before. They all pondered and brainstormed about whether schooling would continue anymore. For some, it seemed strangely odd, a trifle intense and bizarre, that a tiny little virus could travel both near and far. By then the hysteria had taken root and the maddening frenzy was in full force, as toilet rolls became the victims, with everybody hunting for their source. Madness soon took over, and selfishness prevailed, as stockpiling took center stage and all sanity was derailed. What started out in China soon moved around real quick, and in 2 shakes of a duck's tail, the entire world began to get sick. COVID's rounds had begun, first in Wuhan's shadows undetected, but within days it grew bolder and took the lives of those it affected. Theories circulated and accelerated as countries all shut down. Lockdown and isolation took hold in every town. Sanitizer and detergents were deemed valuable as gold. They were hunted down fervently in every outlet where they were sold. People kept their distance and were advised to stay at home. They were not allowed to socialize, congregate, or roam. Safety measures were put in place to lower COVID cases. These were finally adhered to as masks were put on faces. More theories and anecdotes addressed COVID-19 hygiene, while everywhere around the globe COVID's impact could be seen. The world moved hesitantly and in fear as a deep-seated terror took hold. It seemed like a small number of people invited God into their fold. It soon became apparent that COVID was here to stay. That's when fervent prayers were ushered upwards to God in every way. Unity, strength, and compassion became global, pivotal tools as countries sought to communicate on how to administer worldwide COVID rules. One by one, each nation began to take a stand with boldness and confidence, some with Bibles in their hand. They braved the many onslaughts of politics and more, but little did they know that another avalanche was in store. Tired and exhausted and weary from it all, everyone now reminisces about how COVID made us fall. No one would have imagined a world abruptly standing still and sinking solemnly to its knees while COVID killed and had her fill. Now Lee could go on and on with this poem and never completely stop, because writing is what ignites her fuel and keeps her soul on the hop. However, she'll quench the urge to indulge you and stifle her desire to write more, because today is all students' first day back, with recounts and escapades galore.